What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Friday. It is a beautiful, glorious, gorgeous week in New York City. The sun is beaming. The weather's nice. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm having a little bit of some tummy pains right now.
You have allergies?
No. I feel nauseous.
Hungover?
No. I'm not hungover.
You just feel sick.
Yeah. I don't like to be hungover shamed by you people.
We're not hungover. It's not a hungover shaming at all. It's a welcoming. We wish you would say you're hungover.
But
Just admit it. That's what we're saying.
That's what it is. It's like,
we don't
but
care,
if I
but just
was
admit it.
hungover, I would say it.
Although that hasn't been true in the past.
It certainly has. I'm not hungover.
I believe you.
I believe you.
You don't look hungover.
No.
You don't seem I was just asking, and no shame. I welcome a hangover. I wanted you to be.
I didn't do it.
No shame,
I didn't
but
do it.
calling me a liar.
No,
Well,
in the
that's
you
it's
have
not
been a
about
liar.
the hungover, like being hungover is wrong or right. It's about whether you are telling the truth about being
Yes.
hungover or not.
Right.
Which is not
You're
shaming
calling
the
me a liar.
hangover.
Your track record.
Well, I'm not calling you a
says that.
truther.
You're calling me a liar. False.
Okay, then you know
I
what?
ate a giant meal last night. That's probably why.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. Well, I'm glad to hear you're okay.
Unbelievable. Okay, how are
believe
you? I don't want to talk about me anymore.
Franny getting so upset for no reason. No reason. I'm good. Ready for the weekend. I have done a lot of thinking about roller coasters since the last episode, and I found out that we must go to Cedar Point in Ohio. Apparently, it is the roller coaster capital of the world. They have the best roller coasters. They hit me up on Twitter. They said, come
been there.
check it out. Have you? Then tell us about it.
That's the place. You remember I was like, ooh, I think I went to one place in Ohio one time.
How was it?
I just
Everyone
forgot the
says
name
it's
of
the
it.
greatest amusement park ever.
It was cool.
Better than Six Flags?
I mean, I'm just partial to Six Flags because I think I've just been there more times. But Cedar Point's cool. I did enjoy it the one time that I went.
I might be taking a trip to Ohio because I have the amusement park itch. And I said I'd come with my ratings. And for the ones I've been to, I have it in my head.
The Coaster Queen.
The Coaster Queen. Number one. And if we're going off roller coasters, number one would be Six Flags. 2, Universal.
Specifically Six Flags in New Jersey.
Yes, specifically. Yeah. Six Flags, Universal, Hershey Park. And then I think I've only been to Dorney Park as well. So I don't think I've ever even been to that many amusement parks. I'm not including Disney in that list.
Yeah.
Because if we were going to go just parks in general, I'd go Universal, Disney, then the rest of them.
This is very niche for anybody that grew up in North Jersey, but there was a place on Route 22 called Bowcraft. Not necessarily like a giant amusement park. It was definitely catered towards small children, but they had like cute little roller coasters for kids. And I think that's where my love for roller coasters started. Like we would always go to Bowcraft, loved it. Fantastic. They actually built a bigger roller coaster later. It was like, whoa, it was just like a roller coaster in the middle of the highway. You drove by and you were like, what the fuck is that? However, Bowcraft no longer exists. They tore the whole place down. So
I feel like
but it was a good like childhood place. Like not a full blown amusement park, but they had the games and the food and the rides. And
I feel like every town has that kind of place.
Probably.
Like for me, it was Adventureland.
Yes.
Which they made a movie about.
Yes.
No big deal.
Right.
Adventureland's a big one. But that same type of deal.
Did you have Funplex? Or is that a New Jersey thing?
No, we had Fun Zone.
Okay.
Mom, I'm bored. Bored. You know that commercial?
Yeah, you and Joe do it all
Me
the
and
time.
your boyfriend talk about it all the time.
Also very niche Long Island. Funplex, I think, might be very niche New Jersey also, but Funplex was next level. Everybody had their birthday parties at Funplex. They had go-karts. They had all the games and prizes and all that, that you could whatever win your prizes. They also had a massive ball pit that was like ginormous. It was like an obstacle course ball pit, but it was also like like you had kind of like Nerf gun type things for the balls in the ball pit, and it was either like you had the best time or you had like the worst time in the ball pit, but
shit was popping off at the ball pit.
Popping off.
Have you ever been to Chuck E. Cheese?
Oh yeah.
I never went to Chuck E. Cheese. Isn't
Never?
that crazy? There are some things that my parents, and love them, but I'm the youngest, so by the time they got to me, there's places I've never been. Chuck E. Cheese, Rainforest Cafe.
I'm sad about the Rainforest Cafe for you. I really am.
Isn't that crazy?
Like
How do you not take your kid to Rainforest Cafe?
More than Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, you've never even heard of the
Rainforest
Rainforest
Cafe?
Cafe?
Been to Rainforest Cafe
Literally
either?
Never heard of it.
Oh
Wow,
my God,
we gotta
it's
take
an
a trip.
experience.
Wait, where is it?
I don't think they really exist anymore.
They used to be all over.
Is it like a rainforest, but it's a cafe?
It's a restaurant.
Breaking news, yes. That is
Wow.
basically what it is. It's a restaurant, but it's an experience. You go and
There's
it's
rain and thunder and
there's thunder and there's storms and there's all these animatronic animals. So
There's
like
mist.
they move and
Ooh, I
they
like
make
that.
noises. Like all of a sudden you hear like the elephant and the birds and the tiger.
Caw!
And like, when you're a kid, it's awesome because you really it looks like you're in the rainforest.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've never
Yeah.
been, so I couldn't really tell you. When I was a kid, I would always say, "Hey, can we go to Rainforest Cafe?" My parents were like, "You don't want to go there. There's better places to eat."
I'm surprised you never went to like a Chuck E. Cheese birthday party though.
None of my friends had birthday parties at Chuck E. Cheese. I think because we had so many other things in the area. We had Fun Zone. We had United Skates. We had all
Wait,
these.
did you ever go to ESPN Zone?
ESPN
Yes.
Zone, loved.
I did go
I
to
just went to
ESPN
Google
Zone.
it because it was also in Times
It
Square. Did
closed.
you ever do Mars 2112?
No.
I can't remember. What was that?
Mars 2112. That's permanently closed also, but it was like a futuristic restaurant, also like similar to a Rainforest Cafe. That it was like an experience. You went in and they made the whole restaurant like look like you were on Mars, and like the way you would go down to the restaurant is like you would walk into the elevator. But the elevator was also kind of like it would like shake, and it'd be like, oh, you're on a rocket ship.
I've heard about this.
feel like
And it was like on a rocket ship, and then the doors would open, and it was
it's
like
an experience.
fog, and you're like, oh, welcome to Mars. Yeah,
That's sick.
yeah. That
Fuck,
was.
I'm so jealous of that. That's awesome.
It's no longer exists, but
that sounds sick.
I know.
Oh
it was
my
really so
God.
cool.
I'm really sad I
It
missed
closed
out on
in
that.
2012, but it was like if you walked past the area where it was, you would recognize it.
Have you guys ever been to Olive Garden?
Yeah,
I
like
don't think so,
twice.
Actually.
I've never been to Olive
I
Garden
don't think
either.
so.
There are just little things in my life that I've never been to that just stick out to me.
I really want to take you to a Rainforest Cafe.
Please look up Rainforest Cafe. I have to get there. I remember, and you know what?
one
Apparently,
in New Jersey.
Apparently, my brother loved it, and they would always go, and they would talk about it when I was a kid, and I'd be like, "Let's go," and they'd be like, "No, we're Rainforest Cafe it out." It's the youngest sibling issue.
Oh, there's one in Atlantic
Your parents
City.
stop caring about you.
Time to go back to Atlantic
Borgata.
City.
Yeah, let's go to AC. I'm down. I'm so down to just drive to AC, go to Rainforest Cafe, and
Does
that's
look
that.
like there's one that's pretty
What's-
close to Disney.
Oh my god! Oh my god! What's the menu like at Rainforest Cafe?
Oh,
Sucks, right? But
yeah.
I want to know.
but it's like it's like going to Applebee's.
okay, that's
Yeah.
completely fine. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to be sick after, right?
No.
Like I want like chicken tenders
Yes,
and fries.
correct.
I'm gonna look up the Rainforest Cafe menu.
That's basically you can get all of those kinds of things.
Well, you know what?
There's also another one in
It's
New
crazy
Jersey.
that I type in rainforest in Google, and the first thing that comes up is Rainforest Cafe, not like
like the
a
actual
real
rainforest.
or anything.
As well, I'll get you the awesome appetizer adventure,
Read
spinach
it
and
to me.
artichoke dip,
Oh.
cheese sticks, chicken strips.
Fuck yes.
Just a little appetizer sampler. That's really all we need.
That's unreal.
They got
Okay, lock it in.
nachos. Like it's like
oh
that
yes,
kind of food.
I'm looking at pictures now. I remember like Buddha Ben and Roan and Caleb were somewhere, and they went there for like a video or something.
I'm
I remember
sure
this,
they
yeah,
have.
Yeah.
Lock it in. We're going to the Rainforest Cafe. Done deal.
Yep.
Let's get into the topics for today.
Let's do it. Oh, by the way, I want to say we're in it now, guys. Another summer of the Jonas Brothers. I hope everyone's ready. Going on tour. We're going to be at multiple spots. I
We're
already
ready.
have them planned out. And on top of that, if you're listening to this, they have a new song. So it's happening. It's starting. They put out a new song with Marshmello. I'm sure it's going to be great.
Right, because it's not out yet while we're recording.
Yeah,
But
and I love Marshmello. So I think this is like my two loves combining. Not Marshmello.
I didn't know you liked Marshmello that much.
Not Marshmello specifically, but the Jonas Brothers
And-
and the Jonas Brothers doing kind of like dance
music
type music.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm in it.
That's my
I'm in
dream.
it. It's the summer of the Jonas Brothers.
Another summer of the Jonas Brothers begins now.
Happiness begins.
Again.
Let's get into the topics for today. We got ASAP Rocky and his GQ interview, also talking about Rihanna confirming the relationship. Travis Barker's ex-wife is saying that Travis and Kim Kardashian once had an affair, and now Aubrey O'Day is getting involved as well. KJ Apa shocked the world by announcing him and his girlfriend, Clara Berry, are expecting a baby, and we got a teaser for the Friends reunion. And we have an interview, a sit-down interview in person with Kelley Flanagan from The Bachelor. We're going to be getting all the good stuff from her, all the juicy stuff. So lock in, everybody. Let's start off with ASAP Rocky and Rihanna. It's close to the summertime, everybody, and nobody wants any worries right now. The weather's getting nice. Everybody wants to be out and about. But if you want to get one worry off your mind, then come on. Interest yourself in earnest. With today's low interest rates, it's a great time to refinance your student loans. Earnest offers low-rate student loan refinancing, and you could check your rate risk-free in just 2 minutes. With Earnest, you get radically flexible payments, and you can pick your loan term. And by refinancing, you can reduce your loan term, save money, or combine multiple loans into a simple monthly payment. And if you have questions, you can even talk to a real-live human at Earnest for help. Guys, isn't it stop time to feeling worried and overwhelmed about your debt, your student debt? It's the summertime. We gotta knock some worries off our list. So get involved with Earnest. Earnest is offering our listeners a $100 cash bonus. You can refinance your student debt at earnest.com/chicks. Terms and conditions apply. Now Earnest is giving our listeners, like I said, a $100 cash bonus. So go to earnest.com/chicks. Terms and conditions apply. Once again, that's a $100 cash bonus if you go to earnest.com/chicks. Terms and conditions apply. It's not available in all states. Visit earnest.com/chicks for more details. Terms and conditions apply. Earnest student loan refinancing made by Earnest Operations LLC and MLS number 1204917, California refinancing law license number 6054788, 303 2nd Suite 401 North San Francisco, California 94107. Visit earnest.com/licenses for a full list of licenses. Ooh, I love this. I love it so much.
Wow. I didn't know if you were about to, like, for a second I thought you were going to start rapping, like,
God, no. I would not.
Fashion Killer. Like, I
couldn't
I
do
thought
that.
that was where this was going.
I would not
seconds.
do ASAP Rocky justice, so I'm not going to do that for everybody. But
Yeah.
God damn, am I thrilled. My favorite couple in the world. It's not even close. It's ASAP Rocky and Rihanna, and then everybody else way, way below. Justin and Haley have been bumped so far down. They're not even near them, not even close. Because first of all, Justin has to fix his hair.
Before
it's making
I put
me
him
freak
anywhere
the fuck
close.
out. It's making me freak out.
It's horrendous.
First of all, I'd like to say this. Let me just pop off for 1 second.
Pop off.
Everybody knows how much I love ASAP Rocky and Rihanna both.
Individually.
Yep. I also love them as a couple, and I've been rooting for them for a long time.
Yeah.
Since maybe 2013.
You were almost hesitant to believe that they were a couple because if it wasn't true, you were going to be that upset.
I was going to be that upset. It's almost how I felt about Haley and Justin long
Yeah.
ago. Once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
But these two, I love them both separately. And ASAP Rocky did this spread with GQ, right? And it was great.
Yeah.
And I really want people to read it.
Great interview.
And not just take away the Rihanna thing. Like, of course, that is the selling point. Everyone's like,
right.
Oh, he's dating Rihanna. He said she's the one, which was adorable.
You're coming in as like the big ASAP Rocky fan. Like, hey guys,
let's appreciate his art.
Yeah. Read the whole story, okay?
I just was like, this is sad. Everyone's just talking about this one little...
Yeah.
Boop.
Literally a little blip.
A little blip. But either way... Amazing news, because we had seen them out together during the Christmas time, and they went to Barbados, and they were around New York City, and they were on the jet ski, and we got all these great pictures, and then it was silent for a little bit, so I was getting nervous, but he is so sweet. He said, that's my lady. He said, she's the one. When you know, you know.
Yeah.
And he said he's doing so much better in a relationship.
Yeah.
And he's just so happy with her.
And if you...
How could you not be?
Forget the whole, arrest in Europe. Like, I kind of forgot about all of that. So they were talking about those things too. But I will read it because it is very, very cute. It says, as soon as I bring her up, he starts beaming like a teenager whose crush just accepted his prom invite. I could practically hear the angels singing. There might be some artistic liberty taken here by the writer. I could practically hear the angels singing. The love of my life, he calls her, my lady. The exact timeline of their relationship is uncertain, and Rocky won't divulge many details. Rumors about their status began circulating as early as 2013 when Rocky opened for Rihanna's Diamonds World Tour. You can see why the global pop culture apparatus and the duo's combined 100 million fans, most of them hers, to be fair, have been attempting to speak their union into existence. They're both insanely hot. They both got culture-shifting side hustles. They're both fashion oracles. Their coupling feels predestined. What's it like to be in a relationship? So much better, Rocky replies without hesitation. So much better when you got the one. She amounts to probably like a million of the other ones. New world shit indeed. Rocky is among our culture's most unabashed ladies' men, but he says he's comfortable embracing monogamy. I think when you know, she's the one.
Of course she is.
Yeah.
They probably have the best days ever. They wake up happy as hell. They're rolling blunts right away, probably the both of them. And they're just happy to be together. They were, you know what? They were really good friends first.
Yeah.
And I think that probably helps them as well. And
They built the foundation.
It's funny that if you look at past interviews of A$AP Rocky talking about Rihanna and Rihanna talking about A$AP Rocky, like A$AP Rocky's like, nah, it's like my sister. Like,
yeah.
And you could just tell it's because he probably wanted Rihanna so badly,
Right.
but Rihanna wasn't into it. Or
Yeah.
maybe she was just as a friend.
Yeah.
And then maybe on the inside, Rihanna was like, oh, he really is the prettiest man alive. And then they got together.
Yeah,
I love them so
I
much.
very much could also see Rihanna being like in 2013, 2014, being like, no, you're not ready for me. Like you have I can tell you're with way too many girls. Like you're doing your thing. Like get back to me down the line.
And you know what? They're basically the same age. How often do you see that? Rihanna
Really?
just turned 33 and A$AP Rocky turns 33 in October. So they will be
Wow.
33 together. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Has A$AP ever dated like a notable person?
Kendall Jenner.
Kendall Jenner.
Oh, Kendall Jenner. Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't know a lot of other ones.
Yeah, there's not really, and there's also not a lot of details about that either, but everyone does believe that Kendall Jenner and A$AP.
Yeah, and they got some
Yeah. They got
hot
some-
pictures
yeah,
together.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she was strictly basketball players.
No.
Nope.
Just, yeah.
A$AP Rocky past relationships. I'm typing it. I've only really
I know. Immediately Kendall Jenner comes to mind.
Rita Ora, Iggy Azalea. You dated Iggy
I feel
Azalea.
like that's probably all speculation.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's speculation. I
Yeah.
think this is the first time we're hearing A$AP Rocky like confirm she is the one.
Right.
Oh my God, it's glorious.
I also love it in the article. They capitalize the O in one. It's like she's the one.
Right. It makes it more official.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. So, I mean, that it was the perfect amount of relationship, like divulge in, oh God, we're English. He divulged the perfect amount of information where we have known nothing about them. And now I feel like we kind of forgot, like it's been months, we haven't seen them, heard from them. And it's like, bam, by the way, she's the one, love of my life. Just
haven't
putting it out there.
I haven't forgotten. I've just been worried.
Right.
I've just been thinking in the back of my head, are they still
together?
And this confirms it.
Yes, it does.
We have a new development about the Travis Barker Kardashian situation. As we all know, Travis Barker and Kourtney Kardashian are madly in love.
Madly.
We see it all over Instagram. They're soulmates. One might say they're
Twin
the
flames.
one for each other.
Yeah.
Like A$AP Rocky would say. But now Travis Barker's ex-wife is getting in the mix, and she is claiming that the reason, or one of the reasons that she split up with Travis Barker was because she found out that he was having an affair with Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Now, there are obviously quotes of Travis Barker talking about Kim Kardashian in the past, but I don't think that necessarily means that he can't be with Kourtney Kardashian now if everyone in the family is okay with it. And then Aubrey O'Day got into the mix. She's saying that she knows Kim Kardashian and Travis Barker were together. But then we have Travis Barker's daughter, Alabama, also getting in the mix, saying that she doesn't want to have a relationship with her mom because her mom doesn't try. Basically,
It's messy.
it's very messy.
It's super messy. Shanna continues to speak on the relationship and talk about it, and she seems like she just seems like she's trying to fuck shit up a little bit, you know? And Travis Barker just got a don't trust anyone tattoo, I believe. And now she's saying that basically they got divorced because she saw Kim and Travis together, is now what she's claiming. So she told Us Weekly that she was never friends with the Kardashians because, quote, I divorced my ex because I saw them. I caught them having an affair. She says that she was talking about Kim when she was Paris Hilton's assistant in the early 2000s. And that was like the reason that their marriage ended.
It's very strange because I feel like this is something we would have heard about before. Now, I did feel like when Travis Barker was first brought up in conversation with Kourtney Kardashian, people were talking about Travis Barker talking about Kim Kardashian back in the day. But here's the thing. If nobody cares in that family, then why does everybody else care, right? Like if everyone's oh my God, Kim and Travis once had a thing and now he's with his sister. It's like,
apparently he also was with Paris Hilton.
Think about how many years ago that must have been that Kim Kardashian was with Travis Barker. It doesn't seem like
I think it's literally 10 plus years.
Exactly. It just seems, and maybe it was a little fling, whatever it was. It just seems a little fishy that she keeps popping up, talking about them and wanting to get her name out there and be involved in the conversation when it seems like the family wants nothing to do with her. Her daughter wants nothing to do with her. I think that Travis, I think he has said like she's an amazing mom or has said something to that effect. I don't exactly recall, but I don't think he speaks badly about her. I think Travis Barker's a nice guy.
But there's definitely
no relationship between the kids and the mom because
it seems
so
from
it
what they
seems
post on
from
social media.
Alabama, what she posts on social media. So I don't know. The whole thing has gotten pretty messy, and I think that Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker are probably just going to ignore it because they're in love and they're like, fuck this. Who cares?
Now, let me ask you a question.
Go for it.
You have an older sister.
Yeah.
Let's pretend like your older sister's not married already.
Yeah, no, we can take that out of the
let's
picture.
just eliminate that part of this.
Okay.
Let's say 10 years from when you were like in high school, maybe, I guess. I'm trying to think of like the right time. Let's just say like 10 years in the future after
high school's almost too close.
No, I know. And that's why I'm like, I just have to say 10
just
years.
act like I'm older.
Yes. Imagine in 10 years you're with a guy. Maybe that's like a quick romance, hot, sexy, but like doesn't last long.
Yeah, we hooked up a couple times.
Yeah. 10 years down the line, that man falls in love with your older sister. Do you care or do you not care?
I think it depends where I am at in my life.
Okay.
If I'm happy and single or happily with somebody, then I think I would be okay and I could joke around about it.
Yeah.
But I think if I'm a bitter person,
it
depends where I am. If I'm a bitter person, I'm angry, I might be like...
Hold it against them?
Yeah, I might be like, well, that's disgusting that you would even go for somebody that I hooked up with.
Right.
I think it really depends where you are in your life. I think the Kardashians are so okay with their lives, or maybe they're not. Maybe there's some things they don't like. But in that world...
Right. I truly feel like Kim doesn't...
Right.
Like Kim and Kourtney are like, whatever.
I feel like Kim is totally okay with herself.
Yeah.
To be like, yeah, that's funny, I don't care.
Like Kim, they've denied that there was anything like this that has ever happened. So this really could just be Shanna just trying to fucking stir shit up.
Probably is.
I wouldn't be surprised. The don't trust anyone is a aggressive tattoo. Not like he doesn't have a million tattoos, but it does seem like he also got it. I don't know if it is Shanna's face or not. That's right, tattooed like right on the bottom of his neck, but it's close. Don't trust anyone.
That's a dark tattoo.
Yeah.
It is something people say often, but it's dark.
Yeah.
I don't really know how I fall. I'm always like, oh, you can't trust anybody. But then I trust people all the time.
You do trust people all the time.
I know. I just am. I'm like, I like to think everybody's trustworthy.
Yeah.
But they're not.
They're not.
Don't trust anybody.
They're not. You can have your select group of people.
Yeah.
You know? And I also think how, like, you can gauge how trustworthy other people are by asking yourself, like, do I think I'm trustworthy?
Yeah. I feel like, here's the thing.
You ask yourself and then you're like, yeah, I think so. Ooh, but like, remember that time I totally like told this secret and I shouldn't have?
Right. Here's the thing. Depending, like you, I tell things that I would never tell anybody else. But
I will say I'm very trustworthy when it comes to you telling me stuff.
100%.
I'm a locked vault.
She is.
Yeah.
100%. I will say when I talk to other people, besides you, when I talk to other people, I only tell them things that I would have no problem saying to that person's face or saying out loud to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I'm like that will be okay if this comes up. I have no problem saying it.
Yeah.
But you are, a select.
Locked down.
Yeah, you are.
But yeah, this is just continues to get very, very messy from Shanna's side. And the more she speaks, the more unbothered I think Courtney and Travis are. You know, like, yes, the don't trust anyone tattoo makes it seem like maybe you're a little bothered, but they just continue to do their own thing. I love Courtney's tattooing his body. Like, it just seems like they are like, oh God, Shanna.
They probably think she's a joke.
Shush.
Yeah.
Just shush. Just a little Riverdale update if you are still locked into Riverdale. I will say that I was locked in on Riverdale probably until like the end of the 3rd season, I would say. After that, kind of trailed off, have not watched as much. So if you're like me and you're kind of like, I don't know what's going on with them. I don't see too much. Cole and Lily broke up, so I'm not paying as much attention. KJ App is having a baby. He has been with his girlfriend for, I would say, a pretty decent amount of time. Clara Berry, she's beautiful. She's a beautiful French model, stunning. The two of them together are just drop dead gorgeous. And on Instagram, they both posted these photos of Clara very pregnant. Like, it wasn't like, hey, we're having a baby, and it's 3 months in and you can't even tell she's pregnant. No, she is pregnant. And she looks absolutely beautiful. Looks like she did this stunning pregnancy photo shoot, but unexpected. I don't think anyone was like, oh yeah, okay. Like, you saw the Instagrams, you were like, whoa, baby, okay.
Yeah, big news. I've never watched Riverdale. I feel like that is groundbreaking.
That is pretty crazy.
I've never watched Riverdale.
I will say, because I do think the early seasons are really worth watching.
That's the thing. Everyone kept saying, oh, you have to watch the early seasons, but it gets real bad. And then I'm like, okay, well, never mind then. I'm not exactly interested in something that's going to get really bad. But there's so many good
shows that I would say
like
that
Game
about,
of Thrones.
too.
Yeah, but Game of Thrones is worth it up until the last season. And I even think, like, even though the last season people were not happy with, I would still be like, you could watch that season.
Absolutely. I mean, the early seasons of One Tree Hill are amazing. The last few, bad.
Even The Office, you could say that.
Yeah.
I guess you guys are making good points here. I actually love the later seasons of One Tree Hill. I love the early seasons.
I still watch them all the time, but they're totally worse.
They're
than the
so
early
worse.
ones.
But Clay holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah,
he was
okay.
my favorite guy on that show. Even out of Nathan and Lucas, Clay was my favorite. I don't know why. Why are you looking at me like that?
Clay was your favorite?
Clay.
Out of all the male characters on that show.
I was really obsessed with Clay.
Okay.
Is that why? You're having a lot to take in now.
I also really liked Clay, but not enough to put him over Nathan or Lucas.
Well, I obviously loved Nathan over Lucas.
Yeah.
But when Clay came into the picture, I don't know. I just feel like
it was very hard for me to get behind the
forgetting
the child. Yeah. That
was nuts.
That was hard. That was hard for me to get behind.
Nuts storyline. How does somebody forget they have a fucking kid? And then the kid comes back.
Like, trauma.
And the kid's just hanging out with them.
I know. Trauma appears in very different ways for different people, but that one was...
Yeah.
That felt far-fetched to me.
It was pretty wild. But yeah, loved Clay.
Same with Nathan. I mean, Nathan got kidnapped. Like,
Nathan
there's
got
just-
kidnapped by basketball people.
Yeah, like,
when does that happen?
Yeah, it took a turn in those later seasons.
Basketball people.
Remember Nurse?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Nurse Carrie.
Yeah,
That shit was fucking nuts.
that happened still when the show was really good.
I gotta rewatch these seasons.
I know.
That
I
shit
started
was
thinking about
fucking
watching One Tree
crazy.
Hill from the beginning
But anyways,
all the time.
congrats to KJ Appa and his beautiful girlfriend. Happy for them. The Riverdale stars are growing up.
I know, and he's 23. He's in my mind. I see him still, and I'm like, oh my god, he's like 19, just because he's been
23.
You know, when he started the show, it was like and I still think of all of them as being so young, but they're not.
Imagine I was having a baby right now.
No,
I know.
she's older. She's 27.
Okay.
Not crazy,
Imagine you were
but-
having a baby right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, to each their own. We're not having
No.
children right now, but they will probably have some beautiful half French, half where's he from? Oh no, New Zealand. Like, what a beautiful combination.
Beautiful mix.
They'll have a absolute stunning baby. Like, not even close. We got our first trailer for the Friends reunion coming out next week. The premiere date is May 27th. Super exciting. It looks great. I will say I didn't know what this was going to be like. At first, it was getting so hyped up. It's going to be amazing. And then it was like, it's just like this hour special, not going to be that big of a deal. But the trailer really seemed nice. They're going to have some kind of table read. They're going to the old set. They're sitting and chatting. They're playing games. And it's hard not to watch that trailer and feel like very nostalgic and be like, wow, this is something I really want to watch.
Everybody's going to be watching this, of course. People have been waiting for it for a really long
Fresh
time
Prince.
now. Oh my God, the Fresh Prince one had me wrecked. Had me absolutely fucking wrecked.
Yeah.
It was unreal. I'm going to watch that again. But Friends reunion, it's going to be emotional, but I really love that they all stay close.
Yeah.
They all know each other so well still. And when they talk about the days of being on Friends, it seems like for 10 straight years, these people were best friends. They hung out all the time. You know, the girls always talk about how they had the same lunch every day and they ate lunch together every day. And it's so sweet and it's really exciting. And I think, yes, like I wanted an update on their lives as the characters, but
Maybe they'll do it. Like, maybe they'll play a game like, ooh, like where do you think all of your characters are now?
That's a good point. I would have liked maybe, like when Entourage did the movie.
Yeah. I think if they did that and like gave us an episode or an hour special where they were actually playing their characters, it would just be kind of sad.
Right. But, people grow up. That's real life.
I know.
I didn't watch it, but I saw that there was a point where Matthew Perry is being consoled by Jennifer Aniston.
Well, I mean,
in the trailer.
Not necessarily.
That was a headline.
I saw some ridiculous headlines. It was like fans were worried about Matthew
there was a
Perry
picture
after
of her,
slurring the words, and like, and I watched it back again and was like, what? Like, I just feel like people rail into Matthew Perry all the time
Just because they know
just
about...
because they know he's had abuse problems, drug abuse problems, and things like that. Like, he seemed okay. He just seemed like he was getting emotional. Like, all he said was like, he started to talk and he got choked up and was like, oh, here come the tears. Like, he knew he was gonna cry. And Jennifer Aniston was like, oh, like, it wasn't bad. That's all the headlines is like, Matthew Perry inconsolable,
I think it's just bad
slurring his
timing.
words, and like, it's like, what? Like,
Right.
he didn't look. Everybody jokes that men age so gracefully and they get hotter as they get older. Can't say that about the men of the Friends.
Yeah, no way.
Unfortunately.
Oh, no, I was going to ask you to rank them, but that's...
No,
I'm not going
that's
to do
kinda
that.
That is
yeah,
mean.
it is mean. Listen, everybody gets older. Everybody grows up.
Absolutely.
And here's the
They're
thing.
like in their 50s now.
When people do get shit like Botox or whatever, then
Yeah.
people make fun of them for that. So if they
Yeah.
all got Botox and changed the way they look, people would be like, oh, wow, the men of Friends, ew. They're all getting Botox and trying to stop
Yeah.
their aging. And now that they're just aging naturally, people
Yeah.
are like, oh, my God, they look terrible. It's like
Yeah.
so fucked up. Everybody wants to see them on TV, and now everyone's roasting them.
Yeah,
But
it's hard when you also have Jennifer Aniston.
I mean, Jennifer Aniston,
because you're like, you always see Jennifer Aniston, you're like, she looks exactly the same.
right, and everyone else around her is just getting older. But listen, I'm
backwards.
excited
Courtney
either
Cox.
way.
No, Courtney Cox.
Courtney
is-
Cox looks great,
yeah. The women are all beautiful, and it's just they haven't been on TV in a really long time, like a really long time as friends, obviously.
Exactly. It's going to be emotional, obviously. I'm just excited for the stories that we'll get from it and the background information, and I can't wait for it to come out.
It looks really, really sweet. During lockdown, we all had the luxury of wearing basically pajamas all day, every day, lounge wear. We were always comfy and cozy. And thankfully, we had all of these amazing healthcare professionals, frontline workers, fighting against COVID and working against this pandemic. They were at work. They were in their scrubs. And if we could be super comfortable, we hope that our frontline workers, our healthcare professionals can be comfortable as they can be in their scrubs. And Figs has made a ridiculously soft set of scrubs engineered with athletic apparel functionality so that they can stay comfortable. We're not wearing it, of course, but we know so many people who live and die by scrubs.
My sister loves Figs.
Love. You see those itchy, boxy cotton scrubs, throw them out. Forget them.
Get rid of them.
You shouldn't be wearing them anymore because Figs is just the modern scrubs. They have the focus on design, function, and comfort. Figs' proprietary Phionics fabric is ridiculously soft with 4-way stretch, moisture-wicking, anti-wrinkle, and Silvador antimicrobial technology that inhibits odor-producing microbes and increases durability. So many pockets. You can get your Figs customized with text and icon embroidery as well. They're doing the right thing. They have a range, so many different colors. Like I said, you can be so much more comfortable at work, whatever you're doing. And we highly, highly recommend. So if you're one of the awesome humans who work in healthcare, Figs wants you to wear the scrubs you deserve and enjoy 15% off your first order. And if you're not working on the front lines, thank someone who is with the best scrubs in the world. Figs will give you 15% off too. So if you want to gift them to someone, it's a great idea. Use code CHICKS15 at checkout so you can head to wearfigs.com, wearfigs.com, and enter our code CHICKS15 at checkout. Get ready to love your scrubs.
All right, everyone, we are here with a very special guest. We got Kelley Flanagan in person, in studio. We're ready to talk about everything. But first off, welcome to New York. I feel like it was a little bit, figuring out if you were coming to New York or not. You spent some time in Miami, but now you're here, so welcome.
I am here looking at apartments. I haven't necessarily seen.
It's been a journey for you, apartment hunting, huh? Like I see on your Instagram story, I'm like, she's looking at all these nice places, but then it's like you haven't found the one yet.
That, but also I got a little distracted in Miami. And then when I would come up here, like everything wasn't open. I was like, there's no reason for me to rush this. Like if I'm having a great time in Miami, I'm doing my thing there. Like why get an apartment right now?
Yeah.
So things are opening up here. So now I'm like on a time frame. I'm like, I got to get up here.
How was Miami?
So much fun.
Are you like, oh, maybe I should stay there, or are you ready for New York City?
No, I'm ready for New York. I've actually been back and forth from Chicago and Miami like my entire life. My parents kind of follow that route. So, I don't want to like go to a place I've already been. Like I'm ready for something new, fresh, like let's do it. So I think it'll be good for me.
How much time have you spent like in New York? Like was not, always just not really anything?
Much. Some of my girlfriends here are like, oh, you want to go to this place tonight? And I'm like, guys, I don't know like anything. Yeah. I was like, I know Carbone and probably Catch and Soho House, and that's about it.
Yep.
Yeah, and those are things that you can find in Miami or LA.
Yes,
it's like just those type of places. So what drew you to New York City?
To be honest, I just wanted something new. I knew, actually, if I wasn't going to do the show, I wanted to go to London. Mm-hmm. Now that's not really going to work out. Like a lot of my work is here. So if I go to London, it just wouldn't work. So I wanted to do another big city. I've been in Chicago for like maybe 6 or 7 years. And it was between that and LA. I'm not an LA girl. I don't think I fit that vibe. And I was like, you know what? I think New York's a better fit for me in terms of just like the people there. And I was like, I'm ready to give a new city, a shot. So New York it was.
You're speaking our language.
We went to LA.
We're also not LA people.
Yeah. We went last week and it was eye-opening because every time we leave LA, I'm almost like, oh, maybe I would live there. But then every time we get back, I'm like, no, I wouldn't. Yeah. I would not. It's just not our scene. It's nice to visit. Of course, it's nice to have some fun times there, but
I remember before when I used to go visit LA before I even went on the show, guys there wouldn't ask me for my number. They would ask me for my Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
before they're even asking me for my number. And I'm like, this is weird. Like, why do you even care about my Instagram? And I had, I think, like 3,000 followers. And I was like, here it is. Like, is this what's going to do it for you? But
No, that is now I feel like the way people go.
yeah.
They're like, let's just, because now if I have your Instagram, I could just DM you and then I can ghost you really easily that way. And it's like, if I start texting you, then we're
I
just.
can't
I think
remember
they
the
wanna,
last
like-
time I was asked for my phone number.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like now it's always like, you get the
But
person looks them up on Instagram and then they message on Instagram. And it's like,
But I also took it as like they just wanted to see who you were, to see if you were someone
right,
special,
right.
and
For
like
sure,
kind
for
of
sure.
like use you in a sense. And I was like, oh god, this just
there's a lot of users in LA, 100%.
Oh, 100%. I think they all do that. It's like their thing.
Yeah.
But let's talk about The Bachelor. Let's talk about how things have unfolded. I want to go way back in time, guys. We're bringing
Let's do it.
We're bringing it back to Kelley's season. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, a very confusing season it was.
Yeah.
But you had met Peter prior, and that was kind of like a storyline. Like, you met one night.
Yep.
And then you weren't in the final 3.
Nope.
But then you guys started dating after.
Yep.
Now, when you were on the show, just so everyone remembers what happened. Now, when you were on the show, did you get the vibe that Peter really liked you, but was trying to just follow through with the show and what they would expect? Or were you it was kind of just up in the air?
No, I definitely knew that him and I like had a connection right from the start. Even when we met before, I just like knew going into the show, which wasn't my favor. I'm sure people didn't like it, but like I knew I had a connection with this guy, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna do this show. I already had like some reassurance there to be like, I know him and I vibe on this. Like, this is great.
Yeah.
Like, I was sitting pretty, but I knew the girls weren't gonna like that. So I was like, oh man, like this is a tough position to be in. Like, I know I get along with this guy and he seems really cool. And I was like, but I'm going into a situation that's not ideal for the girls. So as time went, like him and I had a blast. The first group date, him and I flew off on the plane and we had a blast. And then like later that night, we went back to the hotel him and I met. Production brought us there. Again, had a blast. Like, we were having so much fun every time we saw each other. But then there was a point in time where I just stopped seeing him.
Right.
And I would ask, I'd be like, can I see him? And, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes in terms of like who gets to see him when and all that stuff. And I just wasn't necessarily getting the green light to be able to see him. And it's like, how do you connect with someone if you're not seeing them?
Yeah.
It's like, great, I saw you a couple weeks ago, but now you're going to go and establish other connections with other girls. Like, I'm kind of dropping off here if I don't see you. So that's kind of in my mindset how it was going. So I don't necessarily know what was going through his head. I think both of us, both him and I, knew we had a connection, but I think things started getting stronger with like other people because I wasn't necessarily around.
Right. I think a lot of people were rooting for you too. And then I'm curious, like when you watched it back, when you're watching it, it's live, and you were sent home and the conversation like kind of shifted. Like everybody was like, oh my God, we love Kelley, we love Kelley, we love Kelley. And then they kind of made it seem like you were a little bit of a jerk when you were leaving. Like that you kind of like, they're like, wait, she seems super cocky. Where did this come from? We didn't see this side of her. When you watched that back, how were you feeling?
Yeah,
and did you feel like, ooh, like maybe that wasn't like,
was
that really
shocked.
what happened?
Come on. Like, it just doesn't come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I was shocked to see that, the producers call you and they tell you if you're going to have like a tough week in terms of what's airing. And I remember some of the things they were telling me and I was like, excuse me? What? And they're like, yeah, you said that. And I was like, did I say it in that order or what?
Yeah, right.
So, things could be misconstrued there, which I think that was a big one. But yeah, that was a weird one to watch back. So I was like, okay, where am I saying that? Like, where am I actually saying that? But hey, it's a show. They got to do what they have to do.
Yep.
And
Right.
you can't like hold a grudge on it.
Yeah.
Why were you at the finale? Because I remember that everyone was so fucking confused during this finale because first of all, you got Pete getting engaged to Hannah Ann, and then you got Madison on stage, and Barb's involved, and then in the middle of all of this, they go,
Barb is like, I love Kelley.
yeah, and Barb's like, I love Kelley, and they're like, and we have a special guest in the audience, Kelley Flanagan's here, and then we didn't see you again for the rest of the night. Why were you there?
To be honest,
and you weren't at the Woman Tell All.
I was not invited to Women Tell All. Yeah, and I don't necessarily know. I think a lot of me, I was like close with the girls, and I would try to diffuse a lot of the situations, and you can't have that on a show. So, you know, when some of my girlfriends would be like, oh my God, I'm so pissed off, I'd be like, don't worry about it. It's okay. And you can't have that, which, you know, like to me, I just have to let people be themselves. But I don't know, there's a part in me to be like, no, like go figure it out. And,
it's interesting you say that because Katie is now the Bachelorette, and that was kind of like her vibe that past season.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Things definitely shifted. But like you said, like these girls, and now especially in New York, and we see everyone hanging out in New York and Nashville and whatever, but the girls from your season, I feel like are all together a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think that like because you actually dated Pete after the show that it was like maybe you didn't end up as close with some of these girls?
You know what? You pick and choose who you're close with. Some of the
Yeah.
people you're close with on the show aren't necessarily going to be the people you're close with like after. Like
Yeah.
Kelsey Weir and I talk every single day for like hours, you know? And it's funny because she just like owns who she is. And I
Yeah.
love that because it's not like I am who I am. I know I'm different. Kelsey knows she's different, but we're all like, whatever, this is us, you know? But yeah, there's definitely a part that I think makes it a little bit hard. Like coming off, I remember being like, all right, I'm just going to take a step back here and like just do Peter and I because
they can all bond over like Peter being quote unquote an ex. And yes.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
So I just didn't want to offend anyone. I didn't want to like cause drama. So I definitely took a step back and was like, all right, let me just focus on him. Plus it was COVID too. So it's not like any of us could go meet up all the time anyways. But I was like traveling around with him all the time. And just definitely took a step back because there's a lot of stuff that like actually goes on. And I was like, I don't want to like start beef. Like I know this about that. I know like I know everything.
Yeah.
Like I know
Like I could really
I know everything.
let it all out if I want to.
Yeah.
Did you have anybody directly come to you confrontationally when you started dating Pete?
I think there was like things going on behind the scenes, more of like people just talking shit about me,
Right,
which
right,
I
Which is
expected.
as expected.
Yeah, and I was like, like I knew what I was getting myself into. It was one, I was gonna like kind of either like break the relationships with the girls, which I didn't want, and I didn't. Like I'm still cool with everyone. Like you know, me and Maddie are fine. Me and Hannah Ann are fine. Like we're all fine. But I knew that I was definitely gonna put like a rut into that. But I was like, all right, I have two choices here. I either like give this guy a shot and see where it goes for myself,
Right.
or I appease like everyone else in the world in the public and just sit back and being like, okay, and always wonder like what could have been.
Right.
So, you know, I made a decision for me and I just said, all right, I'm going to give it a shot and see if this goes anywhere.
That's a good way to look at it.
Definitely.
And even like after, sorry,
you're good.
I never answered your thing about after the final rose, but to be honest, I don't necessarily know why I was there. But I was mic'd up. So I don't know if they had like a plan B.
Right.
If something like
If Barb didn't give them what they wanted, like they had like they were probably like, "Oh my God, look, this woman's going off. We don't even need Kelley."
yeah. So I was mic'd up, and they never spoke to me. So I was like, oh well, I don't know where that was supposed to go. If there's something else there.
And you and Peter weren't like talking at that time?
No.
Interesting. Now, what like I've heard other people say this, and I think maybe I've heard you say it before too, but was there like a Bachelor Peter and like a real life Peter, you know?
I think that goes for everyone on the show, but yeah, definitely.
Because I think it was after the season, it became very hard for people to not think of Peter like as how he was on the show.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, no, they're not going to go on the show and hey, like all power to Peter and all that stuff, but you know, they're going to represent a guy on the show that everyone wants and everyone's amazing. And like you're talking about that in interviews, oh, this guy's amazing, blah, blah, blah. And then you come off and you're like, oh, some of your hobbies maybe don't align with mine. Like, you know, again, it's not a bad thing, but like he loves Pokemon cards and he loves like playing video games and he loves like going out and partying. And there was a while I was like, all right, trying to convince myself that that's what I liked. And I was like, all right, Kelley, let's be honest with yourself. Like, is that does that add
right.
up for you? And I was like, probably not.
So what was the breakup like?
Yeah, what went down with the New Year's Day Eve, like,
Yeah, that was crazy.
Instagram breakup announcement on Peter's side, remember?
I forgot
Yeah, it
that
was.
was on New Year's Eve, and we were like, New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
We couldn't wait a little bit?
It was like they were just it was like, were they just together?
Or talking about their best presents for each other.
Yeah.
It was like a whole thing.
It's like all of a sudden we had a full-blown Instagram statement.
What was the timeline?
You guys had the same same perception that I did. I was like, come on, just let me go out on New Year's Eve at least. No, it was a pretty fast one, to be honest. There was definitely like some back and forth, and things weren't doing well, and I was just like, you know what, like I feel like I was putting in a lot of effort to like try to make things work, and I don't necessarily think it was like being reciprocated. So then I just started putting my foot down a little bit harder, and I was like, I'm not going to deal with this. Like, I'm not putting up with this. And I gave it my all. I gave it my best. And I wasn't not going to, because then again, like, you're going to walk away and being like, okay, well, I didn't try hard enough. And I did. And then once I started putting my foot down a little bit more, things started going like pretty south. And then it was a fast one, and I think I told him that I wasn't coming out for Christmas, because you know what, it was hard, because I was like trying to ask him if he can come help me move out, and he said he couldn't find any time like in December to come, because he wanted to stay home and like hang out with all of his friends, which I was like, dude, that's fine, like we're moving, like hang out with the important people, but like, can you find a couple days to come help me move out? And he was like, maybe for like I could fly in for 24 hours, 48 hours. And I was like, to me, I just found it as like a little disrespectful. I was like, come on, like we're moving in together. Like you aren't really, you're not going to work at a 9 to 5. Like you can find a couple days, you fly for free, it'd be easy.
Yeah.
And he kind of understood it after that, but like it just rubbed me wrong. I was like, where am I a priority in this? And then I just kind of gave some like, not backlash, but I was like, listen, like 2 of my brothers were just diagnosed with Lyme's disease. My dad just overcame cancer. My sister's dog is dying. My other brother just had a baby. Like I had a lot of shit going on in my life. And I was like, why am I trying to make time to go out there to see your family and hang out for Christmas if it's not reciprocated on my end? I was like, you know what? I need to be with my family at this time. Like, there's a shit ton of stuff. Like, we never get together. There's 6 of us. And I was like, we always get together for Christmas. So I was like, you know what? I don't know why I'm prioritizing this over things that I should prioritize more. And so then I kind of called that and just said, I'll see you on New Year's if you're coming to Florida. And we got over that little tussle, and he was still coming, but then like little things just kept happening, and finally it was just like it was a cut.
So it was that quick. It was, I'm not coming for Christmas, which, by the way, I totally understand all of your points. You're moving in
100%.
together. You would think we both need to work on this apartment. You need to help me out. I'll help you out, like that.
And if he's going to prioritize his family,
then you should prioritize yours.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it was very fast in terms of like you weren't going out for Christmas, and then you said, I'll see you New Year's Eve if you come to Florida.
Yeah.
And then he didn't come, and then he just decided he was going to post that day.
Yeah.
What was
that's
that?
how you like know it's final though. Like
Right.
when you get to the point where it's like already announced on Instagram, it's like, oh, we broke up.
Yeah,
So
but
you can break up
within a week. Don't you want to wait a little bit more to see, hey, if things might change? Or was he just like, oh, I want to get this out there?
No, so we actually, there was a point, God, it was like, I don't know, it was very wishy-washy. It was very wishy-washy. There was another time where we like talked about like, hey, is this going to work? Again, there was just things that I was just like, there was so many. I was like, come on, Peter, like, you know this, you got this. Like, why don't you know this by now? And maybe I was a little hard on him with stuff like that, but I just like expected him to like know more. And I was just like, you got this. Like, how do you not know this? And I would like kind of push him. And I think sometimes he probably took that as like a negative thing to be like, no, I don't know this. Like, my journey, my path is a little bit slower, which is totally fine. But I think that was more of my frustration to be like, how are you not there yet? And so there was definitely like a little bit of, fights, but it was nothing big. And then it would go from like little things to then ruptures.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was on different pages.
Yeah. And I mean, there was another time where he did fly out to Chicago, and I was like, what the hell are we doing? And we're going to break up there. And then, I think he called we have the same manager, and he called and told my manager before he even told me, like, I think I'm making the biggest mistake of my life. So then I was like, all right, I think we're good. Like, it was just, And then finally, he was supposed to fly out to Florida, and then, you know, I got like, again, bothered by something, and it was like, all right, well, this just isn't working. And then, I asked him not to do it on New Year's, and I was like, can you just give me a couple days to tell people? And he, I think there was something that he wanted to do in 2020. So I was like, you know, we talked to ABC, like, you have to do all that stuff. And ABC was like, guys, try to drown it out with the premiere. Like, do it the day before, drown it out. People will be excited with other things. And I was like, let's do it the 3rd. Like, let's just wait till the 3rd. And he had to do it in 2020.
Yeah.
I mean,
had some
seems
big
like
New Year's Eve plans.
Yeah, I was gonna say, seems like Pete had some plans for New Year's Eve night that he wanted to get that news out there.
I shouldn't say this,
No,
but he was sick, so he actually wasn't. He was in bed for a while.
Okay, well, it's just
that makes it sound better. In my mind, I was like, he wanted everyone to know, hey guys, it's New Year's Eve and I'm single.
Yeah, our personal opinions always kind of seemed like he had a little bit more growing up to do.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's fair. Like, you know, now you guys are, I guess, both going to be in New York, which, look, New York's a big city.
Yeah.
It's also a very small city.
Yeah.
Small when you kind of run in the same circle. Do you guys think you run in the same circles, kind of?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Fair enough.
No, you will definitely be good. But now I guess
it does make me a little nervous, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But I'll be fine.
Yeah. But, you know, everybody's got it. So
Hold your ground.
and there's
single in New York City.
And totally. And
honest-
tons of girls have to deal with their exes being in New York. So
Yeah. I would just run.
yeah. Oh
run the other
man,
That tells us all we need to know about the
I
situation.
mean, Bachelor's in the City.
I mean,
Yeah, big bachelors in the city. Well, actually, there was something recently. Yeah. Well, bachelors in the city to me screams, I'm not ready to grow up.
It's funny you say that because he messaged me the other day and I'm just not responsive. So I was like, why are you, you know, there's a lot of things that you hear. This world is very small. So,
for sure.
you know, I even get stopped by girls in Nashville and they're like, my friend hooked up with Peter last week. I was like,
Why would they say that?
I swear, I don't know
What
why.
the hell is
I don't
wrong
know.
with people? People have no filter when
No
they see
filter.
people they know. Sometimes,
Yeah.
like they see you on the internet
They
or
also
TV.
forget that you're like a real person.
Yeah,
They're
no.
like think you're just like a simulation walking around.
Yeah.
But what happened?
I've had
recently,
that a couple of times, by the way.
Crazy.
That's something you don't want to get involved with. But I want to talk about what happened recently. Peter put up a picture with Victoria Justice, and there was another girl in the picture. And then I think like a fan page or a T account of some sort posted it, and you commented.
I did.
What did the comment mean? Because we were all trying to.
We actually got into an argument about it.
Yeah, no, we didn't get into an argument. We got into an argument with other people about it because we were on the same page.
We were?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay,
tell
okay,
us what
yes,
it is, and
yes.
we'll decide.
Yep,
No,
yep,
we
yep.
were on the same page,
Okay,
Fred.
okay. I forgot.
You got into an argument with somebody online who's telling you.
Oh, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right. You're
yeah,
right.
Yeah, yeah.
You're right.
that's
I did get a
great.
tweet being like, "You guys were wrong," and I was like, "No, we definitely weren't."
Yeah, so we'll find out right now.
I'm actually curious. I didn't see that tweet. I literally watch all your stuff. So, but yeah. So what essentially happened? Him and I ended on very bad terms. So you know, we got back together. There was stuff again I was frustrated about. I was like, Jesus, come on. And then we got back together, and things were great. Like again, I will never sit here and say that Peter and I did not have a fun time. Like, we had great times. Like we got along like very well. But then after Tampa, you know, we saw each other in Super Bowl. Our manager like booked us for 2 things and we both couldn't really pull out of it. So we both ended up going, didn't plan to see each other. And then I, you know, got a text and I need to see you, whatever. And I was like, whatever. So saw him, went out with him. It was great. Came up here for Valentine's Day, had a great Valentine's Day together. And then, again, there was just like little things. And I kind of was like, listen, if you're not 100% in this, because I was more of the hesitant one, and I was like, if you're not 100% in this, I'm 100% out. Like, I'm getting the hell out of here. Like, this is just way too much for me. And then it ended really badly, and I essentially went off on him. You know, like, I think I still had his like find my friend. I ended up like leaving New York and going to one of my girlfriend's house, hanging out with her, and he texted me. I didn't respond, and then found some news out that I wasn't happy about. Still had each other on like find my friends. It was, you know, we were closing it out, like it was ending, but still wasn't like necessarily done, like, you know, and then heard news that I was not thrilled about. And so I went off and I essentially said like, get the hell out of my life. And then ended really badly. Birthday came, 2 weeks, texted me, again, I just said, like, lose my
Yeah.
number. And then, so we ended really badly. And then to me, it was just more of like, okay, like, if you respect me in any sense, like, just don't be going and, like, just still, like, do things not to necessarily, like, I don't know, like, rub me the wrong way.
Right.
And there's been so much of that, like, a lot of the words were hollow, you know, like, his words and actions were different. And it just, like, it's like, bro, like, come on, I understand that. But, like, if you're going on these podcasts, if you're saying that, all this stuff and really nice things about me, like, thank you for doing that one. Like, he actually has been very sweet about everything. But it just is like, your words are hollow. Like, don't be going and taking a really strange photo shoot with a family friend of mine and then, like, posting a collage on Instagram. Like, if you really want to hang out with my family friend, like, knowing that we ended on really bad terms, sure, go for it. Like, it is a little bit strange because it's not like Bachelor Nation people. Like, these are, like, our homies that we grew up with, and it's a little bit strange that, you know, you met this person once and now you guys are best friends taking a photo shoot and posting a collage on Instagram. But if you want to hang out, go ahead. But, like, why does it need to be advertised?
Right.
Why does it
wrong.
need?
We were so wrong.
Why does it need to be like, hey,
Damn it.
here's me and Kelly's
Incredibly
family
wrong.
friend? So it was just weird to me. It's like, you don't, like, it's just disrespectful to me, I guess, just knowing, like, how we ended.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just was like, dude, what is this? Like, why are you doing this? Like, sure, go hang out with her, but I just didn't understand the photo shoot and collage and advertising it.
Yeah, that is strange. Also, kind of weird on your family friend's part.
Yeah,
and also,
yeah, believe me, that's been established.
yeah, I can assume that probably caused a fight. But we were also so wrong about how we
interpreted that in a
interpreted
completely
it.
different
We
way.
thought that because Victoria Justice was in the photo and they've always said that they're good friends,
Yeah.
that you were commenting like, oh, good friend of mine, almost like making a joke that that's something Peter would say to you,
Insinuating, yes.
insinuating about him and Victoria.
I don't think I'd get that petty.
Yes.
I was going to say, I was like,
We
wow.
were like, damn, that is petty as hell. But
that makes more sense, and that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's been a lot of that.
we
where
were
I'm like,
incredibly
come
wrong.
on.
And to my apologies to the girl that tweeted me because she was right.
Yeah, and you were like, you're wrong.
I was like, I totally don't think that's true.
Yeah.
But she was very much right.
Yeah, she was. But that is hard to deal with. Obviously, when you break up with somebody, in your head, you're like, okay, they're not going to post anything too obnoxious that's going to bother me.
Yeah.
Posting with somebody that is a close friend of yours that he doesn't even really know, that's going to piss you off.
It was just weird. I just thought it was like, again, I didn't see the necessity behind it. You know, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's crazy. It came to, like you said, like pretty crazy ending there. But now I just feel like there has been so much other talk about Paradise and who's on Paradise and other people that are interested, because it seems like Bennett has made a serious run for you. Serious run. Asking Peter being like, sure. All very bizarre. Now, like, what's your side of this? Have you even spoken to Bennett?
Yeah, I've spoken to Bennett, but I wouldn't say like we're speaking. Bennett's a nice guy. I don't know him well. Actually, last time we were in New York, I was up here and he was like, hey, you're in New York? I said, yeah, I'm going to dinner with a bunch of friends. If you want to join, you could join. So he joined us, and nice guy. But I think him and I will be friends when I'm here. But
Are you interested at all in a romantic way, a flirty way?
I don't really know Bennett. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, we had this conversation as well. Did you find it flattering or kind of creepy that he was like out there telling the world that like he had a thing for you, but you may not have necessarily even had spoken to him? Because we were like,
I questioned that too. I was like, does he even
we
know
were like,
me?
is this like really flattering? Like he like has a really intense crush, or is it like kind of weird?
Yeah, I sometimes I question that because I was like, I don't even know, like do you? I think maybe he likes like what I stand for. I don't know, but like I don't know like what he sees, and I can't speak for him on that. But Bennett's very public about it, and he's into it, and it's.
So you were honored.
Yeah. At first, like, I'm not kidding. Bennett sent me the prettiest bouquet of flowers that I've ever received in my life.
Wow. Okay. Well, he's putting on the moves.
That bouquet was like, I'm not kidding. It was like massive and it was beautiful. Maybe I didn't do a good enough job on Instagram, but it was very pretty. And I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, like he's continuing, and I'm like, I don't know what the intentions are there. I don't know if he just, sometimes you just see someone you like them, but I don't know what's going on. You have to ask them that.
I will happily ask him that. What was so? Do you have any desire to like continue to be on any of these shows? Like, do you think you would do Paradise?
No, I'm not.
You're done.
Paradise, yeah,
You're out.
I'm out.
Headed back.
I feel like we saw that
life.
coming.
Yeah. No, I'm out. I just, and I'm not like hating on it. Like, hey, like all.
What about being the Bachelorette?
I don't even know. It's just hard with like the situation I'm in. Like, there was times where I got burned, which again, like you can't be upset about, but it gives you a lot of nerves, and you come off that show, and like no matter who you are, you're gonna have like some kind of like mental thing going on. It screws with you, so you gotta make sure you're like prepped to go back in that and come off and try to like figure that out, because like it definitely screws with you. And it's not necessarily the show that screws with you. It's just like now getting like the fame and the notoriety and like having so many Karens in your DMs and like having people have their opinions. Like that's not something you're used to. So it's like a massive transformation that like, you experience, and you got to be like mentally prepared to go back in that. And right now I don't think I'm like wanting to put myself back there.
Super fair.
That's so fair. It makes so much sense when people just do it over. They go on every single show that they can. I think Claire was on like 6 seasons. It's like, at what point do you get like, I'm done with this?
Yeah.
So good for you. What's next for you for work?
What's coming up for Kelley?
Yeah.
Oh man. I have a lot of hopes and dreams. Let's just hope that they come to fruition. But yeah, I am. So essentially what I've been doing, just like with the social media stuff, I'm still, a lot of people don't really even understand what my family does. We do property tax appeals on commercial real estate. Everyone's like, what does that even mean? We essentially help people cut their taxes on big commercial buildings. So that's what we did like day to day. And then also my family's the strangest dynamic you'll ever see. My sister's rescuing horses, playing polo, rescuing dogs. My brother's growing hemp out in North Carolina. We have the other attorneys that go to the farm and grow bees on the weekends, and then they invest in all of like these random companies that they believe in. So I've like kind of taken a step back from law. I'll always be involved with it. It's a family firm. I'll always be there, but I'm not doing as much there. And then I'm doing more of like transitioning to the investing side with my brothers, because when they look at a deck, like they know exactly what they're talking about, which I'm still not 100% there. So if they see like companies that I could align with, they're like, hey Kel, this one is could do really well for you. Why don't you like get on, do social media with them, help them with anything, invest your own money. And there's a company, Realm. It's like a powdered smoothie company, and again, I can get weird with stuff, but like they count your calories by macros, and I have like a lot of weird food allergies and all that stuff. So I was like, this aligns perfectly with me. I actually get like weird if I don't drink it in the morning. So I genuinely love it. So I'm trying to like get involved with companies on the investing sides, ones that just like kind of pertain to me, and then doing a bunch of the social media stuff. I just started up a YouTube. Kelsey and I did a little talk, and I'll have like an array of videos there. And then starting up like Amazon Live, which is new. So I'm just trying to hit like a bunch of different angles and seeing what I like best. And you never really know what's going to come at you, or, a position can come out of nowhere. So we'll see what happens.
For sure.
And awesome. And, New York.
Yeah, I was going to say, New York City is the place to do it. Because when you just see everyone like hustling around, you're like, I want to do that.
It's so,
I want to
so motivating.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think I'll meet some people here, and who knows where I'll go, but I think this is like just my beginning. So hopefully.
Yeah, for sure.
Welcome to New York.
Yeah, seriously.
We're happy to have you here.
We are happy to have you.
And thank you for coming on the show.
No, of course. Thanks for having me.
All right.
All right, everyone, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. We hope you got that good Friday energy to take you through the weekend, and we will talk to you all on Monday. Love you all. Bye.